And welcome in, everyone. High above the vet, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for another installment of Somerset Berkley Varsity Boys Basketball here on SB Blue Raider Studios. And tonight, your 7-1 Somerset Berkley Raiders get set to face off against a heated division foe in Old Rochester Regional, coming in at 5-4. And Carter, despite the difference in records, this is going to be a barn burner tonight.
Yeah, you can never look at record when you're facing a team because you never know what intensity they're going to bring to the game. And I think Somerset Berkley, based off how competitive the games against Old Rochester are going to be ready to play this game.
And Carter, we were talking about it before we got to the vet today. Gavin Martin is going to have to shoulder a lot of the scoring load for this Old Rochester squad that lost a good chunk of their roster from a team last season that was just as competitive as Somerset Berkley.
For sure, John, and just like him on the football field, as you said, he's got to carry the load because this Somerset Berkley starting five is very impressive to watch.
An impressive starting five indeed. Let's head down to the court to meet this starting five and get through the national anthem. We'll be right back on SB Blue Raider Studios.
And now let's meet your Raiders starting five. At guard, a junior, number 11, Colton Pacheco. At guard, a junior, number 13, Dominic Taylor. At forward, a senior captain, number 15, Finn Bjork. At guard, a senior captain, number 0, Max Finlaw. And at guard, a senior captain, number 14, Brendan McDonald. Head coach of Somerset Berkley is Bob Slater. He's assisted by Chris Mendes, Ray McDonald, Andy Lawrence, and Mason Medeiros. And now, fans, at this time, if you are able, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and sing along as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Back high above the vet, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you as we are set to get underway in this SCC matchup. Crowd coming out in full force for Somerset Berkley tonight. The student section in attendance having a neon theme for this one. Carter, we've seen this before this season. Could be effective again tonight.
Oh, for sure, especially when players are taking free throws down at that end. The noise can definitely impact the way you shoot and the way you're thinking about when you're taking that free throw.
As we get set to go, let's meet the starting lineups for both sides. First, for the visiting Old Rochester Regional Bulldogs, Noah Thorell, Grady Oliveira, and Finn Kavanaugh are the first three, followed by Henry Berry and the captain of this squad, Gavin Martin. For Somerset Berkley, usual starting lineup in effect tonight: Max Finlaw, Colton Pacheco, Dom Taylor, Brendan McDonald, and Finn Bjork. Tip-off between Bjork and Thorell, won by the Raiders, and we are underway in this SCC matchup. Somerset Berkley comes in first place in the SCC, Old Rochester tied for second. So this game could have big implications for conference standings. Bjork underneath with the finish to start.
Great play there by Finn Bjork. His impact in the inside near the rim is impressive, and they're going to need him tonight because this Old Rochester team's never going to back down from a fight.
A miss by Grady Oliveira, and McDonald will push the floor for the Raiders. McDonald recently broke 1,000 points for his career. A big honor that very few Raiders hold. Bjork starts the cycle. Pacheco the pull up. He got
Cole Pacheco, my friend, and he puts the student and student athlete, and right there, that was just a great shot, and that's what they're going to need from him tonight.
Pacheco tried to push it forward. Had it knocked away from him by Oliveira. It'll stay. Raider ball. 5-0 in favor of the home squad. Just over a minute gone here in quarter number 1. McDonald calling shots, top of the arc, finds Pacheco. Pacheco will give and go with his captain as Somerset swings the perimeter inside. Bjork, another easy finish underneath.
Old Rochester's definitely going to have to find a way to stop Finn Bjork, because right now it's looking like it's going to be a huge momentum swing for the Somerset Berkley Raiders early on in this game.
First bucket of the game for Old Rochester belongs to Noah Thorell. And now a full court press in effect. Somerset Berkley to break it. Pacheco slashes through the lane outside. Taylor, yep.
The three-point shooting early on for the Raiders is impressive, and they're going to have to keep it up. And as the steal goes there,
and a big block there by Gavin Martin. Pacheco to keep it going for the Raiders, and now Bjork for Taylor. Back to back. Yes! Dom Taylor. And the first time out for Steve Carvalho, a 13-2 Raider lead early on.
I think what coach for the Old Rochester Bulldog is saying is, even though we're down 13-2, there's a lot of game left, and I think they got to find a way to produce some offense and also prevent the three-point scoring.
Raiders paced by three-point scoring thus far. Dom Taylor with a couple. And of course the heavy work down low by Finn Bjork for a few buckets as well. A 13-2 advantage to start for Somerset Berkley. And Carter, we talk about this across all sports. Getting that early lead is always important in these conference matchups.
Oh, for sure, John. And as you said, no matter the sport, you always want to score first, because it carries momentum throughout the rest of the game. And especially later down the line, it could be only one goal going into the final period or final quarter, and that could win you the game.
Let's see if this SEC matchup provides some late game heroics. Right now, very much in favor of the home squad. Martin breaks the double team up the floor. That's Thorell. Thorell gives it away, and Henry Berry missing on the shot. Somerset Berkley player may have gotten a piece of it. Bjork on the drive against Thorell. Can't get that one to go. Martin the other way for Old Rochester. Gavin Martin fakes the pass, now looking. He'll find Kavanaugh, corner three, comes up short. Bjork the board. Now McDonald to charge forward for Somerset Berkley. McDonald slams on the brakes, nearly got stripped by Martin. Now Gavin has it, but he dribbled out of bounds. Tough bounce for Gavin Martin, Carter, after a stingy defensive effort on that possession.
Yeah, it looks like Old Rochester found their way on the defensive side of the ball, but they still got to find a way to produce some offense, because the shooting right now is not looking too good for them.
Bjork nearly lost at McDonald to grab it. McDonald around a Bjork screen, stops, finds Bjork with the finish.
Great passing play there between Bjork and McDonald, and it's very impressive to watch those two work together and kind of in sync the whole game, because it's really tough for teams to stop them when they're just constantly scoring, putting up buckets.
Old Rochester searching for answers right now. Only 2 points on the board thus far, and we're about halfway through this first quarter. Martin spins, looks down low, pass deflected, finds its way back up top. Horsey goes outside, a three missed by Oliveira. He'll get his own board, puts it back up. That won't go either. Oliveira battling with McDonald, who will get it away to Finn Bjork. Still only 2 points on the board for the Old Rochester Bulldogs. Pacheco, shake and bake, starts a cycle outside. Finlaw, strong. Tip out board for McDonald. He'll drive. McDonald, the hop step into the lane. And the circus finish for number 14.
Sweet move there by Brent McDonald, and it just seems like game in and game out, he's always producing.
Bjork with some nice defense there, looking to force 2 misses in a row. He does, and he has the board. McDonald, the fast break up for Pacheco. He's on the drive, kicks it out for Taylor, and now Finlaw on the drive himself. The finger roll goes in and out. Grady Oliveira the other way for Old Rochester. He'll find Horsey. Horsey up top, and a 3 from Martin will fall.
Great way to get on the board there for Gavin Martin. They're going to need to piggyback him off this game for this game because this Somerset Berkley defense has looked really hot to start out this game.
Gavin Martin with the first bucket for the Bulldogs in the past few minutes. Somerset Berkley cycling the perimeter. Pacheco inside. Finlaw goes back out. Dom Taylor another 3, and he is scorching hot from distance to start a 15-point, 20-5 Raider lead early in this one. And a steal for McDonald. Brendan McDonald stops right in front of the free throw line. That one won't roll. And Old Rochester has possession with Oliveira giving way to Gavin Martin.
Great play there by Dom Taylor coming into this contest top 10 in 3-pointers, and it seems that he's going to be rising up the rankings after this game after all the threes he's making.
A stop and pop won't go for Kavanaugh. Putback attempt also unsuccessful, but the third will drop for Horsey. Bob Slater makes the call and McDonald relays. Time called. Officials just straightening a few things out. Another substitute in for Old Rochester. Brody Hiles, who was the hero late in that football matchup earlier this season that Carter and I covered between Old Rochester and Somerset Berkley football. He had the interception late, and now he steps in on the court. Pacheco, the straightaway 3, rolls in and out. Gavin Martin the other way. Martin gives it on the drive for Thorell. He can't finish. Finn Bjork, another rebound. Bjork, second in the SCC in rebounds. Came into this one with 11.5 per game. Martin the other way. A nice bounce pass in the finish for Thorell. So North Thorell gets himself on the board. Under 2 to play in quarter number 1, and a thrashing thus far by the Raiders, 20-9 in their favor. Raiders cycle the perimeter once more. McDonald up top, Taylor straight away, and once more, 4 for 4 in quarter number 1 is Dom Taylor from downtown.
It's really impressive to watch the rotation up top by the Somerset Berkley Raiders, and looks like they're feeding off Dom Taylor right now because he is hot.
Taylor might as well have flames on his back the way he's been playing. Dom Taylor fakes, drives, the spin move on Hiles. Looking for the foul call, he didn't get it. Oliveira starts a cycle. Down low, trying to finish on Bjork, and unable to do so is Horsey. Bjork battling for the rebound, and a jump ball called. Possession arrow to favor Old Rochester.
I think right there is Finn Bjork just trying to get that board, but he's a little too aggressive with his elbows, and they made the call.
Martin to inbound. Gets it in quickly. Berry goes outside. Oliveira on the drive. Partially blocked by Finlaw. McDonald the other way in a hurry. To the corner, Pacheco. He'll drive baseline. Looks for the skip pass in the direction of Jacob Loro. It will stay Somerset Berkley ball. 43.9 to go, and it actually will be Old Rochester ball. Full court press in effect for Somerset Berkley as well. That has been the case for most of this first quarter. Old Rochester breaks it. Oliveira driving. No finish. Another block for this Raider defensive unit. Loro with it, and he'll try the 3, and he'll fall. It is raining 3-pointers in this first quarter for the Raiders. Pass down low, out of bounds off the hands of Henry Berry as he tried to feed it for Hiles. Raiders with 18 seconds left can finish the quarter if they want to.
great sequence there by Jacob Laurel, great block, and that's what you want from your bench, energy and coming into the game with a block and then a three. That's how you want to start your game off.
Laurel on the switch with McDonald, finds Finlaw. Max Finlaw drives with the left hand, puts it in. And the clock will expire with the Raiders up by 19, 28-9 after one quarter here at the Vet. Short break, and we'll be back for quarter number 2 here on Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios.
Fans, a reminder that tonight's full game will be available to watch next week on Blue Raider Studios on YouTube and on Somerset Access TV. Fans, let's hear a round of applause for our media crew helping out with tonight's game on the walking track.
Eight minutes back up on the clock, 8 minutes remaining in this first half, 28-9 in favor of Somerset Berkley. And Carter, the Raiders just could not miss from anywhere on the court in quarter number 1.
Yeah, it was very impressive to watch, John, but I think for Old Rochester, they really got to find a way to stop the bleeding right now, because if it keeps going like it is, I don't know how they can possibly get back in this game.
McDonald, a straightaway three. That one gets down. I don't think, other than maybe one miss, that the Raiders have missed from three-point land at all this evening. And now a three-pointer on the other end that gets missed by Horsey. Back the other way. Pacheco, bounce pass McDonald. He can't finish. Coming the other way is Thorell. He'll lead pass for Gavin Martin. Martin driving on Taylor. Taylor got a piece of it. Rebound battled for Crook. Will send it for McDonald. Brendan McDonald the other way for the easy layup. And the Raider offense just keeps on chugging. On the drive, Thorell got fouled. Looks like it's going to be on Jacob Laurel, and that is the case. First foul for Somerset Berkley in this one.
Yeah, not a bad foul there by Jacob Laurel, because he could have made that pass easily and the other guy would have got the bucket, but I think as the game goes on, you got to say you can't be taking fouls.
First one up and good for Noah Thorell. Thorell listed at 6'2" in his junior year. Second one for Thorell up and good. A fast start to this contest for Somerset Berkley. They will see Old Rochester again later in the season. Last year, these two teams split the season series, which was an improvement for the Raiders, who the year before that lost both games to the Bulldogs. Looking like the ball will be with Old Rochester here. 6:55 remaining in half number 1. 33-11 in favor of the Somerset Berkley Raiders. Gavin Martin working on Crook. He'll retreat and look for the lane. Martin for Kavanaugh. Somerset playing a nice zone defense, and Pacheco the steal. Colton Pacheco the other way, easy lay.
Not just the offensive scoring for the Somerset Berkley Raiders as impressive, it's also the stingy defense and playing. Great steal there by Colton Pacheco, and he showed his burst of speed there for the easy lay.
Second foul against the Raiders, and this one belongs to Colton Pacheco. Inbounding for the Bulldogs is Henry Berry. Berry gets it into Martin, who's trapped by the press. Martin has to give it up. McDonald has another steal. McDonald stops in the paint for Bjork. Back to McDonald. Gets the screen from Finn Bjork and takes another three wide. Dom Taylor trying to put the board back up. That one got blocked. Gavin Martin was in there. And here come the Bulldogs on the charge. Oliveira giving way up top. A three from Kavanaugh won't go. Offensive board put back up by Barry. That won't go either. And Finn Bjork will give way to McDonald, and now Crook. Crook, Dom Taylor once again. This time he misses, a rare miss in this one for number 13.
I think they're going to want to keep, after that miss, even though he missed, I think Coach Slater's going to want Dom Taylor to keep shooting because you always want to ride that hot hand.
A hot hand indeed is Dom Taylor thus far. Heat check, and that one rolls in and out. So 2 misses for Dom Taylor after 4 straight. Oliveira inside Thorell. That one won't go. Finn Bjork all over the rebound stat sheet. McDonald for Loro. His 3 is true. Jacob Loro continues the barrage of 3-pointers, and another timeout we head into 38-11 with 4:57 to play. We'll be right back here on Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV.
Fans, we have an early score update on our girls varsity game. Halfway through the first quarter, we are tied at 2.
Back out of the timeout, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for Somerset Access TV and SB Blue Raider Studios. A 38-11 lead for the Raiders. And Carter and I were talking about it during the break. Old Rochester scoring a bit more now, but they need to stop the bleeding, and the bleeding might continue here. Now the other way, Langlois is back for Bjork, and he got fouled.
Great sequence there by Langlois and Bjork just to do a little give and go for the foul.
Is first on the team, then Bjork to shoot 2.
Bjork will make the first. So Finn Bjork second in rebounds in the SCC. Brennan McDonald also on that list, 9th in rebounds as Bjork will make the second. Up the floor, Oliveira goes inside. Thorell, he can't get it to go. And the missing continuing for Old Rochester. Finlaw, spin move in the paint, lost it. Crook digging for it, he's got it. Crook giving it away, Finn Bjork back up top, Finlaw. Finlaw fakes, drives, puts it up, in and out. And Gavin Martin with the rebound. Martin, hop step through the paint, off glass, that won't fall. And a whistle as Finn Bjork was a little shaken up after that collision. 4:05 to play, Raiders up by 29, 40-11. And Carter, for an Old Rochester team that was 22-6 last year, this is not the start Steve Carvalho would have wanted.
No, especially for an experienced coach like him that's been through ups and downs throughout his years of coaching. I think he's going to say to his team, especially towards halftime break, that we need to find stuff that works. Maybe start simpler, go to stuff that is more simple. That way you can find gaps in the Somerset Berkley defense, because right now, as they made the bucket there, still though, great defense.
A nice bucket in traffic for Horsey. Crook the other way for Somerset Berkley. Crook will drive, and the right hand finish. Bench loves that one. 3:20 to play, back to a 29-point Raider lead on the drive. It's Hiles, that one will not fall. Crook the fast break pass for Finlaw. Finlaw spins in the paint with the right hand, can't finish that time, but he got fouled.
Great sequence there by Max Finlaw, just to drive for that rim and draw the foul. And let's see if he can make these 2 free throws.
His second on the team. Max Finlaw at the line to shoot 2.
Second foul on Grady Oliveira here in this first half. Finlaw at the line to shoot 2. First one drops for 0-0.
Number 5, Ben Kavanaugh, replacing Grady Oliveira.
Finlaw will make the second. A now 31-point lead for Somerset Berkley, and they'll dig into their bench. Coming out to a rowdy applause is Max Hansen to replace Jacob Loro. So Carpenter, Hansen, Crook, Finlaw, and Langlois is on the floor for Somerset Berkley. Inside, Martin. He gets some space in the paint, fires, and that one a bit strong. Offensive rebound will keep it with Old Rochester. On the drive is Thorell. He'll get fouled. Somerset Berkley's fan section chanting. Seems like they want a certain player to come off that bench pretty soon, Carter.
That player will be Kevin DeSantos, longtime veteran for this Somerset Berkley squad.
Let's see if Bob Slater gives the fan section what they'd like. Thorell will make the second to cut the lead back under 30 for Somerset Berkley as Crook will charge forward. Crook starts a cycle, and now Finlaw retreats back to the three-point line as he is guarded by Kavanaugh. Finlaw will give and go with Langlois. Now Carpenter, his three, strong. Rebound corralled by Horsey. Hunter Horsey the other way. Horsey, another member of both the Old Rochester football and basketball team, and a steal here. Finlaw was in there. Max Finlaw goes back for Hansen up top. Carpenter swings it far side. Langlois a three, got blocked by Gavin Martin. Ball trickles out of bounds, and it will be Old Rochester ball. Another substitute in for the Raiders. Zach King stepping onto the court. He'll replace Max Finlaw to a rowdy applause of his own.
Another player that plays both basketball and football. While football maybe is his stronger sport, they still love him on this basketball team for his presence in the locker room, and especially I like him as well because he's very funny.
Gotta love a jokester on any team. A corner three for Gavin Martin. That one comes up short. Zach King to push the floor, went off his foot. Old Rochester ball. Max Finlaw likes the effort, however. On the bench, he's up on his feet with a loud applause. Martin looking to help Old Rochester break the press. Hiles will do it. Brody Hiles on the drive, puts it up, won't go. Hansen was fighting for the rebound. He got help from King, but it comes out for Thorell. He'll miss as well. King will give way for Alex Crook. Crook with under a minute and a half to play in this first half. We'll start the cycle. Crook on the switch, back for Hansen on the drive. Max Hansen with the left hand, can't finish. Now the other way, getting it stripped from him was Horsey. Zach King on the drive, underneath the basket, can't get it to go. Finn Kavanaugh the other way with under a minute to play. Leads to a three that will not fall for Noah Thorell. He's had some points where he's been able to score in this one, but most of this Old Rochester squad just having an off night. King on the drive, partially blocked by Horsey. Half a minute left as Hansen knocks that pass from Thorell out of bounds. And some more cheers from the bench.
Replacing number 30, Hunter Horsey.
Somerset Berkley right now with 5 non-starters on the floor, still dictating the pace of play. That just goes to show the depth for this Raider squad, Carter.
Yeah, for sure, and it's showing that they're capable of being starters on other teams because as it's looking right now, as you said before, they're dictating the pace and they're still moving the ball really well.
Gavin Martin with the most recent bucket for Old Rochester. 44-17, 15 to play in the half. Crook on the drive, a circus shot won't go. Hansen nearly at the board, but Thorell will give way to Martin. Martin Across. The bounce pass behind the back for Hiles. He can't finish on Carpenter. 1 second left. Crook at the buzzer off the side of the backboard. And that will conclude this first half of play. Back up in the booth with you, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia for SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. And Carter, Somerset Berkley dominated in that first half.
Yeah, for sure, John. And all assets of the game, whether it be defense, stifling defense, or three-point shooting and inside with Finn Bjork. And they have to keep it up in the second half because you never know what could happen in the basketball game. There could be a 20-point swing and Old Rochester's right back in the game.
And if you're the head coach for Old Rochester in Steve Carvalho, who do you think is going to have to step up most for the Bulldogs in this second half in order for them to get back in this one?
As you said at the start, John, I think it has to go down to Gavin Martin. He's their captain, their leader, and they need to piggyback on him, and they need to ride him to the finish line.
Let's see what happens the rest of the way. Will these Old Rochester Bulldogs ride their star to the finish line, or will the Raiders hold on for another big home dub? We'll find out after another short break. Back in a flash on Somerset Access TV and Blue Raider Studios. Back here high above the vet, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you. And Carter, in that first half, Somerset Berkley was paced by 12 points from Dom Taylor. And on the other side, Old Rochester led in scoring by Thorell with 8. Both of those players are going to have to step up big if either of their teams wants to come out victorious tonight.
For sure, and I think for Somerset Berkley, Coach Slater probably emphasized them in the locker room is you cannot let off the gas. You got to keep scoring and keep fighting because you never know, as I said before, you never know what could happen.
Indeed, you never know what can happen, and I'm sure that was part of the message Steve Carvalho was giving his Bulldog squad down 44-17 at the half.
Yeah, he probably said, don't give up. You know, it's a long game, and there's 16 minutes left on the clock to make some stuff happen.
16 minutes left, gotta get it done. Anybody who's seen High School Musical will like that reference. Let's head down to the court for the second half here on SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you. Second half set to get underway. Inbounding is Oliveira, and Gavin Martin will start. Martin looking low. Pass tipped away as it headed towards Henry Berry. It'll stay with Old Rochester with 30 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding is Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh finds Oliveira, and now Berry. Berry stops at about the outside of the paint, won't go. Bjork on the defensive end making the stop, and now McDonald on the first offensive possession of half number 2 for the Raiders. Up top, Finlaw for Bjork, the alley-oop, and Bjork can't finish. Old Rochester trying to come the other way. Pass goes out of bounds as it was in the direction of Grady Oliveira. Somerset Berkley back the other way with 7.5 to play in quarter 3. Finlaw slicing through the lane outside Pacheco. Three-pointer, yep! Colton Pacheco from downtown. And the Raiders' three-point shooting continues to be hot. And a foul called on Pacheco. I believe that is his second.
Great shot there by Colton Pacheco, and I think he's going to start heating up in this half because while he did have a somewhat quiet half in the first half, I think by knowing him so well that he'll be determined to get some more points in this half.
And Carter Pacheco was a big part of that double overtime victory for the Raiders in their last contest against Dighton Rehoboth. He's looking to be just as big of a part tonight.
For sure, John, and it's not just going to have to be him that has to step up. It has to be the whole rest of the team, even the rotation guys. It has to be, everyone has to play a part in a win because that's how successful teams win championships.
Pacheco outside Dom Taylor, now Finlaw. All the way to the other side, McDonald. Good ball rotation underneath. Bjork digging, and he'll be fouled.
I mean, there's not many ways you can stop Finn Bjork. I mean, the best way you can is just foul him.
Finn Bjork to the charity stripe. He'll shoot 2.
Finn Bjork will be at the line, shooting 2.
Clock stopped with exactly 6 minutes left in quarter 3. Steve Carvalho sending a deep message to his old Rochester squad, as Bjork could potentially put the Raiders up by 40. Make it 30, my bad. Raiders have led by as much as 30 in this game. And back to a 30-point lead it is. Bjork makes both at the line, 49-19, 30-point Raider lead here at home. Oliveira will give for Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh going inside, trying to find Henry Berry. Went off the basket and out of bounds. It'll be Raider basketball. And a game that had a lot of hype coming in has swung very much in favor of the first place Raiders. McDonald stops in the paint for Taylor and now Finlaw. Finlaw spins in the paint once more, and the right-hand finish is smooth as butter for Max Finlaw.
As you explained there, smooth as butter. That was a smooth move by Max Finlaw to get the easy finger lay bucket.
Martin, the three, comes up short. Bjork the rebound, and he'll push the floor. Finn Bjork, the outlet pass. Finlaw driving, he'll put it off glass for two. And a timeout on the way. Somerset Berkley firing on all cylinders, 53-19, Carter.
Max Finlaw coming out of this second half hot, looking determined to get a bucket in any way possible.
Another short break back after the timeout on Somerset Access TV and Blue Raider Studios.
Also, fans, a reminder to join us at Tabor Academy in Marion for our next Somerset Berkley hockey game, which will be Friday at 8:15.
Yet another Steve Carvalho timeout. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia back with you for Somerset Access TV and Blue Raider Studios. A 53-19 lead for the Raiders. Finn Bjork already with a double-double in this one, Carter. Yet another impressive performance to add to a career full of accolades for number 15.
For sure, John, and I think they're going to need him even further down the line. Obviously, he just came off an injury, and they're really going to need to preserve him because he's a very big, important value to this team.
As Carter was talking, a near alley-oop between McDonald and Bjork. That would have been must-see TV. Maybe another chance here. Bjork all the way with the jam. Raise the roof, Finn Bjork. Kavanaugh the other way, gets it in. Nice bucket for Finn Kavanaugh. He's had his struggles tonight offensively. Good to see him get one in.
Finn Bjork there with a ferocious dunk, and great job by Old Rochester to respond after the very heightened play.
McDonald stops in the lane outside Bjork, a three-pointer two. That one almost rolled in. Rebound chance, and Dom Taylor goes off glass.
Dom Taylor, very complete player. All of his assets of his game is very refined. Great board there, and then nice putback.
Steal by McDonald, his third of the game. Up for Finlaw, and another right-handed finish. Now the Raider lead almost up to 40. So maybe my mistake wasn't much of a mistake after all. 59-21, and 38-point lead, and another steal. Taylor the other way, left hand.
As I said, Dom Taylor before, left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. It seems like he's making everything.
Now a 40-point Raider lead, 61-21. 4 minutes to play in the third. A Kavanaugh three comes up short. Hiles trying to save it on the end line. He can't. It's out of bounds. Multiple substitutions for both sides.
For the Raiders, Alex Crook, Caroline Boyce, and Jacob Moore.
Colton Pacheco starts the cycle for Finlaw. Back to Pacheco, straightaway three. That one rolls in. Every single bounce going the Raiders' way, Carter.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to watch, and I love to see what Old Rochester can do to respond. Now, I think they're out of this game. I don't know how they're going to get back in it. But if they can respond and finish strong, I think they can carry that into the next game and hope they can win that one.
A nice restart three there from Oliveira. Somerset Berkley will cycle for the open shooter. Finlaw on the fake switch driving, got knocked out of bounds. Looks like last touch was by Hiles.
Replacing number 11, Colton Pacheco.
Colton Pacheco to check out. Kellen Langlois in. Carpenter going up top for Finlaw. Went over his head. Brody Hiles the other way, and he'll finish. Despite a big effort from Finlaw to try and get back and almost LeBron-style block that one. Alex Crook going outside Carpenter, back for Crook. Nice crossover by Crook into the lane, and it was blocked on the back end by Oliveira. Hiles the crossover on Finlaw. He'll drive, put it up, and one. Brody Hiles, the 6-foot junior, will head to the line for his first pair of free throws, or should I say a single, to finish the potential and one.
Looks like Old Rochester is starting to respond to the onslaught of points that the Raiders have put on. I would like to see what they can do in this final 11 minutes of the game.
Checking in for the Bulldogs will be Gavin Martin.
2:55 to play in quarter three. Brody Hiles looking to complete the three-point play. And he cannot. Carpenter the rebound off the miss, and now Crook. Crook for Carpenter, his three, short. And the rebound for Henry Berry. Martin going low, Hiles keeps it in, skips it out, three-pointer will fall. Grady Oliveira's second of the half. And perhaps Old Rochester has found the spark they needed.
Yeah, as I said before, they're starting to respond, and as these shots keep coming, you gotta wonder, does Somerset Berkley really need to tighten up on defense, because they're starting to really pick up their play.
Finlaw outside for Crook. And now Carpenter gets the screen from Crook. He'll give way to Finlaw. Wide left. And the other way goes Grady Oliveira. He'll try to finish with the left hand. That won't go, and Crook the skip out board and push. Alex Crook stops in the paint, gets a chance on Martin, and one! Alex Crook. The bench absolutely loves it. Zach King with a sledgehammer emote there. And Crook looking to complete the three-point play as Reum will check in for the first time.
Caden Reum, a fan favorite amongst the juniors at Somerset Berkley. I'd like to see what he can do. I heard he has a pretty good skill set.
2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Crook cannot convert on that free throw, but he'll get the steal. Crook for Langlois got stripped behind by Henry Berry. Berry up the floor, that's Horsey on the drive, can't finish on Carpenter. Board skips out, and now Martin can't finish. Right into the hands of Crook. Crook up the floor, tried to finish, can't. Old Rochester getting some stops, now they need buckets. For Martin, won't roll. Hiles has the offensive board. Brody Hiles driving back in, he'll draw the foul.
Great job there by Hiles to get down and dirty and get to the board and draw the foul.
That's his second, third on the team. Brody Hiles at the line, shooting two.
Second foul on Jacob Loro. Hiles at the line. He'll make the first.
Stepping into the Bulldogs, Ben Cavanaugh, replacing Grady Oliveira.
Hiles will miss the second. Old Rochester coming off a loss, 46-44 to Greater New Bedford Folk, in a less than ideal situation against the Somerset Berkley Raiders tonight, 66-32 as we head towards quarter four. Corner three from Hiles will drop. And now it's 66-35, down to a 31-point Raider lead that was once at 40. Rayum off the switch. Looking for Crook, and some miscommunication will cause a turnover there.
Yeah, miscommunication there by Rayum and Crook, but I think in practice when they go back and look at that, I think they're going to get their timing right, and that will never and they'll try and make that never happen again.
Underneath, Horsey working on Rayum, and he'll get it to go. 20 seconds left, shot clock is off. Langlois has it stolen from him, that's Hiles. Brody Hiles having the quarter of his life with the finish.
I like the response that Brody Hiles has shown for his team. We thought Gavin Martin would be the important factor, but it looks like Hiles has really given his team energy.
Brody Hiles and Gavin Martin combining for some great efforts here in quarter number 3. Back in the booth, JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you, 66-39. Old Rochester, Carter, just clawing back here in quarter number 3.
It's really impressive to watch, and as I said before, they're a no-quit team, as you can clearly see. They're trying to claw back and just try and salvage whatever they can of this game.
A lot still to be potentially salvaged. 8 more minutes left to play, at least here at the Vet. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia, we'll be right back here on Somerset Access TV and Blue Raider Studios.
Fans, we have another score update in our girls varsity game. At halftime, it's Old Rochester 31 and Somerset Berkley 14.
Shout out to my buddy Keegan Hamlet, giving us an update on the varsity women's basketball game. They're currently down to Old Rochester at the half. Pacheco looking to increase the Somerset Berkley lead, finds Crook, who will not be able to get it. 66-39. A Somerset lead that was once at 40 points, dwindling down by the minute, but Pacheco looking to change that with the steal. Colton Pacheco, crossover, can't shake Hiles. Pacheco ran into a double team, finds Langlois, and now Loro on the drive with the right hand, and he'll get fouled. At first glance, looks like it's on Gavin Martin. That is the case.
Great drive there by Jacob Loro, and for a player who has really been his first real chance on varsity, crucial varsity minutes, he's really shown why he belongs.
Loro at the line to shoot 2. First one will miss. Loro, Carpenter, Langlois, Crook, and Pacheco on the floor for the Raiders. And then Horsey, Kavanaugh, Thorell, Martin, and Oliveira on the floor for Old Rochester. Thorell the 3. That one rolls after coming up short and won't fall. Now driving, Loro can't finish. Somerset Berkley going cold in the late portion of quarter 3, and now at the start of 4, Hiles the 3 straight away. Goes wide right a bit, Loro the rebound. Old Rochester needs stops and scores right now. Carpenter the 3, short. Another stop for Old Rochester. Let's see if the scoring can get picked up. Kavanaugh, back for Hiles. Hiles will give to Kavanaugh, corner 3, short. Crook fighting for the rebound, and he collided with Noah Thorell, and Thorell hit the deck hard. Looks like it will be Raider ball nonetheless. Thorell out, and Oliveira in. So now Oliveira, Horsey, Kavanaugh, along with Martin. And now a steal here. Martin the other way with the layup. 66-41 now. Pacheco on the drive, lost it a bit. Official will say it was tipped, so it will stay with the Raiders. Henry Berry checking back in for Old Rochester. And mounting for the Raiders is Crook. Looked for Langlois. Pacheco has it. Colton Pacheco, the finger roll.
Great finger roll there by Colton Pacheco. And he's really kind of carrying the squad right now as they're kind of in a scoring rut.
Talk about carrying. Gavin Martin with another bucket. Old Rochester not going away. Somerset needs a few dagger shots to put this one to bed. Colton Pacheco can't get one of them. Gavin Martin the other way, looking to keep the train moving. Martin, his three-pointer, got it! Gavin Martin from downtown. Back-to-back buckets for him and a timeout for Bob Slater.
The old Rochester Bulldogs are digging at this lead, trying to get back in the game, and they're doing a pretty good job. At one point, it was 40 points. Now it's down to 22.
68-46. Short break. Carter Sylvia and I will be back in a flash.
Fans, a reminder to join us on Friday, January 17th at 6:30 when our basketball team hosts the Apponequet Lakers.
Back once more out of a timeout. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia with you for SB Blue Raider Studios and Somerset Access TV. Down to a 22-point lead for the Raiders. At one point, the home squad was up by as much as 40, so most of the starters back in, at least two of them for now, and Pacheco and Dom Taylor for the Raiders. Old Rochester sticking with hot hands. Carpenter will try again from the same spot, missing once more. Carpenter the board for Pacheco, who will lay it up and in. Colton Pacheco, one of the top scorers for the Raiders in this one. Martin swings it up top. A three on the way. Comes up strong for Oliveira. Old Rochester trying to keep it in bounds. They cannot. It will be Raider basketball as they have a 70-46 lead with under 5 to play here at the Vet. Upcoming games for both squads. Somerset Berkley will next hit the road for a rematch against Apponequet after the last game that Carter and I called here at the Vet, where Somerset Berkley had battles with Apponequet center Jaden Pierre as a three from Dom Taylor increases the Raider lead, but nearly matching it on the other end is Henry Barry. 73-48 in favor of the Raiders. Barry and Old Rochester will see Bourne next on their schedule. Bourne's a team that came in here to play the Raiders not too long ago. That was the game that McDonald broke 1,000. Pacheco called for the travel.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 23, Max Hansen, replacing number 20, Jacob Lauro.
Max Hansen back in to replace Jacob Lauro. 4:18 to play. Gavin Martin will come across half court for Old Rochester. Now Kavanaugh. To the far side in the corner, it's Martin. He had nowhere to go, gives it up Oliveira. Oliveira back for Kavanaugh. Deep three, yes sir! Finn Kavanaugh from downtown. Back to a 22-point Raider lead, 73-51. Somerset Berkley looking to put the game to bed. Martin nearly at the steal, but it will go all the way down to the other side of the court, just in front of the Raider fan section. Somerset Berkley ball. Dom Taylor back for Colton Pacheco with under 4 to play. Pacheco driving again. That one will not roll. 3.5 to play. Martin. Hands off Kavanaugh. Guarded by Crook. Kavanaugh back for Martin. Fakes. Drives into the lane. The handoff pass. Barry had to give it up. Kavanaugh stops. Pops. Strong. Barry the rebound. Puts it back up. That won't go either. Dom Taylor looking to feed it up for Pacheco on the fast break. Just a bit out of his reach. Old Rochester will keep it with a fresh shot clock. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in Somerset. A 73-51, 22-point Somerset Berkley lead, and Old Rochester running out of time in this one, Carter.
For sure, John, and I do like the fight they brought in the second half after a dreadful first half, but I think they got to carry this second half play into their next games, because as it looks in the standings, they're going to drop to 3-5 after this game, and they definitely need to get some wins to get them back in state contention.
Carter, a 3-3 potential SCC record coming up. If Old Rochester is unable to come out of here victorious tonight, that would drop their record to 500 both in conference and overall. Somerset Berkley with the loss would drop to 7-2, 5-1, but with the win go to 8-1, 6-0. Crook will make the first. Hiles and Horsey back in to replace Kavanaugh and Berry. Also checking in recently was Aiden Montero for Old Rochester, and now the Bulldogs looking for anything they can salvage late in this one. Martin, another three. It rolls and won't fall. Zach King the rebound as he recently checked in for the Raiders. Pacheco the other way, left hand, no finish. Under 2.5 to play. Still a 22-point lead for the Raiders. Martin outside, a three-pointer on the way. Rolls in and out for Montero. Out of bounds and Raiders ball. Once again, so thankful that all of you could tune in with us here on SB Blue Raider Studios on YouTube and Somerset Access TV. And it looks like finally, Carter, the fan section who was begging for 24 in the first half is going to get their wish here in the second.
Fan favorite Kevin Dos Santos, and I think we're going to be really excited to see him play, and I hope he gets a bucket so the fans have something to cheer about.
They've had plenty to cheer about in this one, but the second half has been mostly just about a grudge match with the Raiders, showing just how consistent and fluid moving they truly are. From top to bottom, not even just their starters. Pacheco, clock killing. He'll drive and finish with the right hand.
Colton Pacheco, great dribble moves there, and that guard had a lot to handle there because that was some sweet moves.
Now Thorell giving way to Hiles. Under 1.5 minutes to play. Spencer Troy back up top, Thorell, and a foul called. Foul's going to be on Taylor, and he'll check out with Pacheco as Kevin Dos Santos and Raum will check in. Inbounded, mishandled a bit by Horsey, but he has it back. Horsey driving on Hanson will finish. Hunter Horsey with just a hair above 1 minute to play. Let's see if they can get the ball in the hands of Dos Santos. It's Raum instead, and he drills it. Caden Raum from downtown, 80-55 in favor of the Raiders. Hiles trying to work on Dos Santos. The step back three is strong. Rebound underneath by Troy, but he has it wrestled from him by a combination of Crook and King. Now Dos Santos on potentially the last possession for the Raiders gives way to Crook. Back for Dos Santos. Spinning in the paint, Dos Santos, the one-handed lay won't go. Under 30 to play in the game, Hiles crossing over Dos Santos. Caden had a steal, and he gets it away to King. Zach King looking to dribble it out for the Raiders, who with this victory will improve to 8-1 on the season, 6-0 in the South Coast Conference. Old Rochester dropping to 5-5, 3-3 in the South Coast Conference. Dos Santos will touch ball last as the buzzer hits triple zeros. And we conclude this one tonight with an 80-55 victory for Somerset Berkley. JJ Sylvia, Carter Sylvia back in the booth with you one last time. And Carter, tonight it was all about consistency for the Raiders. They were consistent all the way through.
Yeah, efficient, consistent, whatever you want to say about this team, they were incredible tonight.
But for Old Rochester, if you're head coach Steve Carvalho, you have to love the second half effort that made this much more of a game than it was in half number one.
For sure, John, and I think he's also going to preach to his players. I love that no-quit attitude. A no-quit attitude is what even not-so-great teams can have and beat great teams and even go a run in the state tournament just because they have that no-quit attitude.
Many more games left ahead, but for now, Carter Sylvia and I will take a step away. For the entire SB Blue Raiders crew, the Somerset Access TV crew, and my partner Carter Sylvia, I'm JJ Sylvia, wishing you a good rest of your night.